Hi guys. Trying to like get the lighting okay. I have like a glowing effect going on behind me because I'm in front of a window, but I kind of like it. It's hazing out the fact that I'm unshowered, so we're gonna go with it. As promised, I am back. I am here to talk about, or I wanted to talk about my plan for the rest of the year. And just to say it right up front, this video is going to be a lot different than what I had pictured talking about. Sorry if it's loud. Originally too, I was going to kind of do a sit down talk video, kind of like how I'm starting this now. But I was like, you know what? Enough talking. I don't want to be someone who just talks about their goals. I want to be someone who does them. So this video is going to be more of a vlog. I am going to start the process. I'm going to jump into it. But first I'll kind of, you know, talk about what's been going on. I wanted to address that. So I kind of mentioned before how we had a lot of big things coming up in 2022, and unfortunately some of those things won't be happening anymore. I'm not going to be vague, I'm going to tell you. And I don't want this to be the point of the video, and I don't want this to be a sad video. This is going to be a video of hope and, oh no, I am going to cry. I didn't think I would cry. I want to film it right now because I wasn't going to cry. This is a happy video. Clearly. Oh my gosh, I'm ridiculous. It's a happy video full of hope and joy for the remainder of the year. Oh gosh, I should have worn makeup. Basically to share what has been going on. If anything, just because it's obviously gonna be on my mind and it's affecting me and probably will for a while, clearly. But unfortunately, Zach and I got some really hard news. We were pregnant and we no longer are, or will be. We are pregnant with twins, which is incredible. And we will be miscarrying them, to sum it up shortly. And so a lot of my hope for the year and renewed sense of energy and goal setting kind of all centered around the fact that we believed we were gonna become parents in the fall, and that will no longer be happening. But I had my hopes and dreams way before, you know, that was going to happen, and I think that they're still worth fighting for, obviously. And I want to turn what I had hoped the last couple months, what I believed this was going to be, you know, the best year of our lives. I would love to still be able to say that, essentially, is what I'm getting at. And I think I can still make this year incredible, even if this month has been one of the worst of our lives. I'm ready to look forward again and view life as something amazing and something to be excited about. And again, the word that keeps coming to mind is hope. I want to have hope for this year, to have a beautiful, beautiful year, no matter what happens or what else is to come. And so what I have in my control is continuing to pursue my dreams and goals and passions with true energy and true commitment and drive. Not to say I'll want to work myself in the hole or like in the ground, I mean, but I am tired of living a life that I don't want to. Yeah, not to say I've been unhappy. I've been really happy, you know, with my life. But I think anytime you go through something big in your life, whether that is good, big, like big change, or well, often in the face of sadness or trauma or anything like that, it gets you to rethink about things, and kind of like how the pandemic did for so many of us. And this is just sort of another moment where it's like, are we really living the life we want right now? Like, if it is just us, like if we don't have these distractions and other things to look forward to, how are we right now? How are we feeling about our life right now and what we're doing right now? I don't want to get deep, so we're gonna move on. But I just wanted to I wanted to share that with you guys, because yeah, like I said, it's definitely something that is gonna, I don't know, it feels weird not to talk about. Like, I don't want my miscarriage to be some secret. I don't want my babies to have been some secret that I never talk about and never share, because it was the short time that we thought we would have them was the best few weeks of my life, and I am grateful. Even though we won't have them anymore, I'm so grateful to have experienced that. I really am, as much as it hurts now. I know it doesn't seem like it, but I am fine. And I'm getting so much better each day. This is actually the first time I've cried about it today. Go figure. That's why I thought today would be a good day to film it. I'm like, oh, I haven't cried today. I should have known talking about it I would cry. But yes, I'm fine. And just one kind of last quick word about it. I will say I have learned in this how just wow, how strong so many people are. Like, I think we all know by now how common it is, unfortunately. I think it's like 25% of pregnancies will result in a miscarriage. So obviously still lower than the majority, like 75% chance you won't, but still 25% chance. That's wild. And that's not 25% of women, that's 25% of pregnancies. So that means if you have more than one kid, probably that number is higher. I mean, I don't know, I didn't look it up. But yeah, just I haven't really been shy about opening up to people in my life what's been going on, mostly because I feel like I can't hide it because it's like all over my face. So many people who I have told what happened have then shared their story, and that has been incredible. Like, just people are just so strong, like, and just to see so many go on to live, like, you know, have kids and have such happiness and joy. And you know, obviously it's something you'll always carry with you, but it's not gonna hold me back, you know. Okay, enough on that. Enough on the sad part of that. I'm not trying to dismiss it, but yeah, this is a writing channel after all, Haley. And so yeah, the rest of the video. So today's the day that I want to start the doing part, and you know, I have my laptop here. I have to start working a little bit. I got like 20 minutes before I'm supposed to start working for the day, and so but I'm kind of hoping like before that perhaps, or like between breaks, I can start reading my book, start reading my notes. So okay, let's talk about the game plan, because I haven't done that. I think I'm gonna still stick to my timeline. So a lot of the timeline I had written down and set for myself had to do with planning to have a babies in October. So that's not happening anymore, but I still think it was a good timeline and I want to stick to it. So first steps for, what should we call this? The final draft. The big one, the one that's going to be submitted. That is our first part 1 of this process. So part 1, the final draft. Step 1, part 1, is rereading what I wrote. Oh my gosh. And because I haven't reread it since June, and so it's currently March, so we are not that far away from 1 year. So to say I put my project down for a healthy amount of time would be a bit of an understatement. And so not only though do I have like my own manuscript to reread, I have full notes. My amazing, wonderful, beautiful, awesome friend, Zach Miller, who's been featured in some videos before, he read my entire book and gave me critique feedback. How amazing is that? I am so grateful. So I have not read his notes yet. I think I've been afraid. And just afraid to start too. I haven't been afraid to read his notes. I know they'll be wonderful, but that's the first step. I'm gonna read my book, and along with that, I'll read his notes too. I thought about breaking that into 2 parts, so that way I wasn't, like, I had my own thoughts first and then I read his feedback. But I'm gonna be honest with you, like, when I was writing this latest draft, like, for my thesis, I reread that thing so many times. Like, I have reread this book, I don't even know how many times, countless. And so I think I kind of know what I think of it myself, even though I haven't read it in a long time. But so yeah, I'm just gonna reread with his notes, and that way I'll kind of, it will feel more like a conversation, you know, in my own head, and then seeing his feedback as well, and just kind of thinking about like what I agree with, what I disagree with, and what I know I need to work on. So that will be phase 1, or step 1 of phase 1. I need to work on the organization of this. And then the next phase that I think I want to work on is, I've mentioned countless times now that there was a character in my book that I felt didn't quite shine through as much as in my mind, she does. Like, in my mind, she's almost an equal main character. And in the book, she is very much a side character, of an intriguing side character, but a side character nonetheless. And so I have to figure out still how I want to do that. Do I want it to be dual point of view? Do I want to have more of her chapters? Because I do currently have a single chapter in her point of view, which I know kind of doesn't work, but I tried it and I kept it in. So obviously I have to make a decision on if I'm keeping that, like keeping it and expanding upon it, like throwing in more of her own chapters, or am I not going to do that, in which case I need to take it out, because having just one random chapter in her point of view is kind of weird and jarring. I'm curious what Zach's feedback on that is, like if he had an opinion about that chapter, like if he liked it and he wanted more of that, or if he was like, no, this took me away from your main character story. So that will be step 2, is I guess deciding that and then acting upon that. And so depending which way I go, that is going to look different, though I guess it will still be just as much writing. Like if I don't do her own point of view and I just increase their interaction more, I guess, or just somehow show that she's more of an important character, I'm still going to have to write way more scenes with her and more meaningful interactions, other than just her acting kind of like as a mentor, is kind of how she feels right now. So yeah, so that's gonna take time. That is gonna be the bulk of my rewrite, is adding her in, which is good because right now it sits at like 68,000 words, which for the genre is short. Like it's well, it reads middle grade right now. I'm gonna be honest about that. That's another thing I have to work on. It reads middle grade, and I do agree. I saw that feedback from my critique partner, and I totally agree. I blame the fact that I read a lot of Nancy Drew books. I guess those are middle grade. Or, well, sometimes they're young adult. Not relevant. So for the genre that I am aiming for it to be, which is young adult fantasy adventure, it's short. So I would imagine at the very least it should be honestly 80 to 90,000 words. Not that word count is everything, but just for what I'm trying to do, that's sort of what I should be aiming for. And it's definitely on the short side of that. I mean, honestly, even 100,000 would be a better goal. I don't know. I'd say between 90 and 100 for what I want to do is a goal I should be shooting for. And it's short, so at least I know where to add things in. As far as the action plot, like the structure of the book, I feel okay with it. I might make some changes. There's definitely a whole chapter in there that I've hated from the beginning that I'm just gonna delete, which means I'll have to change some other things. But it's also one of my longer chapters, which means I have more to add. But I feel okay with the decisions I made as far as the action that takes place, which is good because those decisions seemingly take the longest when you're outlining, like figuring out what the heck happens. And from the 0 draft I did back in 2017 to this, that's what changed. Like all of that action changed. And it was a lot of work refiguring out what I wanted to do. The next stage would be sending it back out. So sending it back out to my critique partner. I am part of a critique group through my school. It was an old class we used to do, and they still meet regularly to critique each other's works, and I think it's awesome. And I keep meaning to jump back in, and I've even like said I was going to, and then I haven't. I just haven't been there yet, like mentally ready yet. But I think that would actually be a really good opportunity just to get more feedback. The part that scares me, the risk of doing that would of course be if like they give feedback that they don't like it, like I have to change so much. But obviously I want to know that before I start querying. Like they shouldn't be afraid if that is the feedback. So yeah, I guess almost like it's kind of beta reading, but not really, because they are giving critiques, whereas a beta reader really doesn't. A beta reader just responds. But this would be more like, it is kind of like me reaching out to, it's like a group of 10 people. Okay, so that's phase 1, is writing the final draft. And hopefully I won't have to do any heavy rewrites after that. Like this is the point, is that this is the final rewrite. So then of course, you know, I'll reread it for grammar and stuff. I'm not gonna hire an editor, especially since all my critique partners are like, we're all writing majors, or most of us are writing majors. So I don't know. Is that a mistake? Stay tuned. Maybe it's a mistake you'll witness me make and we can make it together. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna hire an editor. Timeline wise, my goal is for this entire process to happen before my birthday. So it also kind of lines up with the fact that there will be 2 Camp NaNoWriMos that happen during then. So like obviously April's is coming up, which is nuts. So there will be the April session, and then there will be the July session. My plan, I don't want to say just goal, because goal to me implies like this is what I'm shooting for, hope I make it, versus plan is like this is what I'm doing. So I'm gonna say plan. My plan is to finish my rereads in March. So before I start writing in April, and to finish figuring out how I want to move forward with my rewrites. So that way by April 1st and the start of Camp NaNoWriMo is when I will jump back in and really start adding and writing. I don't say rewriting. Rewriting is like a triggering word to me. I've rewritten so many things. But just, yeah, writing in general. And then, you know, it will kind of line up with hopefully whatever I'm going to add back in. I don't want to say like, oh, I'll definitely finish it by the end of April. I don't know if that's true, but that my goal is to, I'm still doing it. My plan is to then, by the July Camp NaNoWriMo, that is when I'm doing my final like edits and revisions after I get feedback from my critique group. So within sometime in the months of May and June, having people read my book, or at least read portions of it. I don't think they could get through the entire thing before then. I'll certainly reach out to anyone who might be interested. And then, yeah, for July, doing the very final revisions. And I will say too, included in that is going to be the fact that I've got to step up my own critique game, because you can't be a selfish critique partner. You can't just ask people to read your book and then not offer to help anyone else's writing or provide feedback on everyone else's writing. So that's something I'm going to have to schedule time in as well. So phase 1's planned end time is July 31st, my birthday, when I turn 30. Scary. And then phase 2 is trying to publish, which is crazy. I'm like scared to say that out loud. But yeah, querying. I've been so excited to query. Like, oh my God, like just picturing like looking up agents and writing and rewriting my query letter and sending out that email and feeling so excited. I'm just so excited for that phase. Probably naively, because I know it's gonna also be heartbreaking. But I don't know, I'm just very excited, and that I think will be a really welcome just feeling of accomplishment that I've made it to that phase. If anything else, like just making it there will be wonderful. And so I imagine kind of putting together my query letter, synopsis if I need one, and finding agents, applying to agents. That is time consuming, and so kind of starting that in August will it will be a lot, and I know a lot of waiting too. And so I don't know, like I'm sure like applying to agents will sort of be a rolling process. It's not like, okay, I've written a query letter and then I apply to 100 agents. Like it's gonna take time to do that, and I might be getting feedback in response. Like it'd be wonderful if an agent wrote back and was like, you know, I loved it except for this thing, in which case I'm gonna have to work on my book still. So, and then of course if I do get an agent, I'll have then an editor and more revisions to do. So it's still far from over. I think finding an agent, like in my head at least, maybe you're the same way or maybe you're not, but it's like, oh, you find an agent, that's like the end point of finishing your book, because like you finish it and then you find an agent. It is just the beginning. Like, you know, getting a book deal and then working with a publishing editor, that's just the beginning of revisions. So yeah. And then from there, my deadlines and my plans and goals and dates get a little fuzzy, because obviously as far as like getting an agent, getting hopefully one day a book deal, like all that stuff, that's kind of out of my control. I can't really say like, oh, I'm gonna do it by October 1st. That'd be cool to be able to say that, but I can't. So I guess that's kind of where my plan to publish tapers off a little bit. I'd love to be able to say by the end of the year I have an agent at least. Like, whoa, huge, but I almost feel kind of silly saying that, because like it just feels so, I don't know. It's such a dream, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, so I guess that's that. And then seeing how things go, like as far as what's next, which feels a little premature to talk about, but I think it's something I'll need to think about. So my book right now is not a standalone, and so I'm gonna have to write the sequel and figure that out. So I think my NaNoWriMo like plans, and I know I shouldn't think about everything in terms of like NaNoWriMo events, but it is helpful just to kind of like have those events going on when I know I personally feel more inspired to work, because other people are writing, and it just, you know, it's part of being in that community. So yeah, I think like a good loose general goal is maybe starting book 2 in November. I feel like I shouldn't have too much of a palate cleanser between the books, because I don't want to forget anything, and it will be good to sort of have like a series planned and start working towards that. Especially, it'd be wonderful to have a more detailed outline of a second book, and even starting on a second book just in case wonderfully a book deal happens and maybe they would want a part 2, and I can then have something instead of being like, oh, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Okay, I feel like I'm getting ahead of myself, so I don't want to like talk too much that way. I want to talk about what I can control. So that was way more long-winded than I planned for it to be, but that's the plan, and I'm excited to bring you guys along with it. So let's stop chatting about what to do and let's start doing what to do. I just noticed I have a big old red splotch right here. Sorry about that. It's my face. All right. I'm going to download the notes and start reading. Let's go. It's the next day. I'm in different PJs now, hanging out with my cat. I'll sit here so then I can have a cat butt. He's so cute. Let me kiss my kitty butt. Don't worry, it was his leg, not his booty. But sorry guys, I didn't really get to start things yesterday because literally 1 hour after I left you guys and like went to shower and start work, I officially miscarried. So I don't know if like finally talking about it with someone other than my husband kind of, I don't know. It was very weird timing. What do you see, bud? Oh, you see Mommy's shadow. We see Mommy's shadow. Oh, you see the light. Oh, he's freaking out. It's reflecting light. Charlie's gonna... Oh my god. I realized I didn't really clarify, and it might have been confusing for people who don't know much about miscarriage. So there's something called a missed miscarriage, and that's what I had. So when we went to my ultrasound, there was no heartbeat, and they had stopped growing like 3 weeks ago. And so we knew we were going to miscarry. That's why I kind of used that verbiage before. But we hadn't officially miscarried yet. We were just kind of waiting to see if it would happen on its own before my next follow-up appointment, which is next week. And it did. It happened yesterday, and I am very thankful that it happened on its own and I didn't have to have surgery or anything. And I'm very, like, I haven't cried at all since it happened, because it's kind of like I really was waiting for it, and I feel at peace with what happened. I think today I will make a good day. Today's gonna be a good day. Me, Teddy? You gonna be my little writing buddy today, Teddy? Probably not. He's probably not gonna help very much at all. Alright. So, got some makeup on because I'm going out tonight for dinner. Very nervous. It's the first time I've seen people this week, so hopefully that goes well. But before we do that, you're not coming with me. You're invited, by the way, but I assume you won't get the invite in time. So, but since you won't get the message in time, no hurt feelings, I figured I would get started on my writing. I don't know where today went. Today's kind of a weird day. It started off really good, like talking to you guys, and I think just like the nerves of seeing people. It's so weird to be nervous. I know, that's bizarre. But it's kind of set in and kind of soured my mood a little bit. Not that it's like sour. I'm bumbling. Well, also I'm going to a baby shower tomorrow, which is a whole other bag of emotions. I want to go. I'm going. I want this, but yeah. The timing isn't ideal, as you can imagine. So, I am going to try and get out of my funk by doing what I want to do today, which is writing. And first step is downloading my critique notes. I don't even want to tell you when he emailed them to me. It was a really long time ago. I am going to at least read the prologue, hopefully like more. But I think just getting started on this vlog will be everything. And yeah, can end the video on a good note. And then we'll take it from there. So let's do it. Alright, I hear Zach downstairs, and if I talk too loud he's gonna shout what, and then I'm gonna have to explain that I'm recording, and it's gonna be a whole thing. So oh my gosh, this is gonna take a while. Like, just writing the notes, I'm kind of going sentence by sentence because obviously I'm making notes of what I think of everything, the writing, everything, and I'm smiling because I like it, but I think I can make it so much better, obviously. So, loving Zach's notes so far. I sent him an email because I realized I am responding to his comments, and because it's through Google Docs, he'll get an email every time I reply. And so I just sent him a quick email. I was like, hey Zach, I'm finally getting around to this. You probably should turn off the notifications for this because you're about to get bombarded. But yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm so excited to have started. You might have seen me doing a little of this in the video montage if you looked quick enough, because I've already started kind of tweaking some things. I almost said twerking. Yeah, I've started twerking some things, tweaking some things. So I guess I can officially say I've started to write again. What's today? Friday, March 11th. A big day. Thank you guys for watching this. And I really look forward to this new, renewed journey with you. This new series. I'll have to come up with a fun name for this. I think Final Draft is a fun name. But maybe it's a little clunky, so you can let me know what you think. Hi honey, I'll be right down. That's my cue. I think my goal is maybe to put these out every 2 weeks. I want to say every week, but I'm worried that there's gonna be some weeks in there that things might be a little busier. But then I'm afraid to say every 2 weeks because, you know, hopefully I do start picking this up more and more. And if I do 2 weeks of footage every video, yeah. I think we all know where this is going. It's gonna be a long one if I do that. So, I don't know. I'm not gonna worry too much about the video part because I want to focus on the writing part. And so obviously I'm gonna be consistent and filming my videos, but I don't wanna like commit myself too strongly to something because then it will become my focus, if that makes sense. I'm gonna go. Ending on a good note. I'm glad I did this. And I will see you guys in the next one, where probably my mood will take a dive as I get deeper and deeper into rereading and taking notes on my draft. Looking forward to it. Oh, one more thing. He's vacuuming now. Oh my gosh. I did just want to say as well that with my miscarriage, I have come to really appreciate and understand the importance of talking about these things and just talking to other people who have gone through it. And so if there's anyone out there who has had the terrible experience of going through this, or is worried about it, or goes through it in the future, I just want you to know I am fine with you reaching out to me. Please reach out to me. I would love to connect with you, talk to you, remind you that you are not alone. So that's what I wanted to end on. All right, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.